At the start, we meet Millie, a homeless girl surviving in her car. She lands a life-changing interview for a housemaid position at the luxurious estate of wealthy businessman Andrew Winchester. His wife, Nina, conducts the interview and, despite Millie's fake resume and pretentious glasses, hires her. Initially, Nina seems kind, providing food, housing, and a phone for household expenses. Millie is tasked with caring for their daughter and is settled into a tiny attic room. The next morning, Millie wakes to find her door jammed. After forcing it open, she finds Nina frantically destroying the kitchen because Millie accidentally threw away a speech Nina had written. After Andrew calms Nina, she sternly warns Millie against further mistakes. Later, while disposing of broken dishes, Millie meets Enzo, the gardener, and senses Nina eavesdropping. Back in her room, Millie notices deep scratch marks on the door and a jammed window. Feeling suffocated but financially trapped, she demands a key and a functional window. Nina agrees with a smile. Amidst the tension, Andrew is the silver lining. Polite and caring, but soon boundaries between him and Millie begin to blur. On Saturday, Millie's day off, Nina's paranoid fear of Millie quitting almost keeps her trapped until Andrew intervenes. Millie visits her psychologist, revealing she hasn't been intimate with anyone for 10 years. That night, unable to sleep, Millie watches TV with Andrew. He treats her like family, sharing his grief about his father and Nina's tragic past, a house fire that killed her parents, allegedly caused by her own mistake. Suddenly, Nina appears and fires Millie in a rage for being with Andrew. Millie pleads for her job, and Nina relents on one condition: stay away from Andrew. The next morning, Millie discovers more of Nina's lies when she hears her telling friends she is still trying to conceive, proving the pregnancy was a facade. Disgusted by Nina and pitying Andrew, Millie resolves to save money and quit. When Nina denied Millie another Saturday off to attend a party, Millie asked Andrew if Cecilia is his biological daughter. He admits she isn't, confessing his unfulfilled longing for a child. One night, screams lead Millie downstairs to find a blood-drenched Nina holding a glass shard. While Nina looked like a psycho killer, Andrew remained eerily calm, skillfully coaxing the weapon from her hand. The next morning, Nina apologized, claiming she wasn't faking her pregnancy but manifesting it. She pressured Millie into accepting an expensive dress and planned a luxury hotel getaway to repair her marriage, tasking Millie with the booking. Meanwhile, another housemaid revealed a chilling rumor. Nina had once allegedly tried to drown her daughter and had attempted suicide. When Millie tried to discuss these secrets with Enzo, Nina chased him away and then erupted in a rage over the hotel booking, claiming she never authorized it. She threatened to deduct the non-refundable costs from Millie's salary until Andrew intervened. The following Saturday, Nina left for Washington. Andrew, unable to cancel the hotel, took Millie instead. After a night of dinner and music, Millie received a threatening message from Nina demanding a video call. In the ensuing panic, Andrew comforted Millie and they ended up in each other's arms. By morning, Nina returned early and they rushed home. Though Millie felt guilty, an obsessed Andrew insisted their affair continue. Nina soon revealed Millie's secret, her 10-year prison sentence, claiming she hired her out of pity. The situation exploded when Millie realized Nina was monitoring her phone's camera and mic, witnessing everything at the hotel. Soon after, Millie was arrested for driving a stolen car reported by Nina. Andrew secured her release, seemingly shocked, but Millie warned him that Nina was seeking revenge. Back home, Nina accused Millie of stealing the gifted clothes. Andrew finally snapped, kicking Nina out. With Nina gone, Millie and Andrew flaunted their romance until one morning, startled by Enzo's intense stare, Millie shattered Andrew's mother's china. At Millie's request, Andrew fired Enzo immediately. Andrew took Millie to the attic and opened champagne, but she soon lost consciousness. When she woke, the door was locked and her key was gone. Andrew's true face emerged. As punishment for the 21 shards, he demanded she inflict 21 deep cuts on her own body to earn freedom. Millie realized Andrew was a psychopath and that Nina had intentionally trapped her to facilitate her own escape. Meanwhile, Nina celebrated her freedom, certain Millie wouldn't leave alive. She wrote a letter to her daughter containing the dark truth of her life. Nina's world had shattered young. She grew up in foster homes and fell for a professor in college, a fatal mistake resulting in a child. The professor never gave them his name. After college, Nina's beauty made her the office favorite, and Andrew soon married her. Nina felt she had found a fairy tale, but it became a nightmare. One morning, Andrew remarked that her hair looked thin. Later, he locked her in the attic, claiming she hadn't cared for her hair. He declared the door would only open once she plucked 100 hairs from the roots and slid them underneath. Inside, there was only a bucket and minimal water. After 2 days of hunger, Millie plucked her hair. Andrew examined each strand ruthlessly, forcing her to restart if a root was broken. Once released, she drank drugged water Andrew provided and collapsed while running to find her daughter, Elle. She woke to an overflowing bathtub and a drowning Elle just as the police arrived. Andrew convinced the world Nina tried to kill herself and their daughter. She was sent to an asylum for 9 months. Eventually, Nina's spirit broke. She knelt before Andrew, agreeing to any condition just to be with Elle. She became a living corpse, but vowed never to let his seed grow in her womb. She colluded with a doctor to deceive Andrew for years, knowing another child would trap her forever. Andrew punished every mistake, yet to the world he was a hero. Only Enzo the gardener understood her agony and tried to help them flee, but Andrew caught them and returned Nina to the asylum. Lacking wealth or a divorce, Nina discovered Andrew's weakness for blonde women and drafted a blueprint for freedom. Millie, who had served 10 years for murder and was desperate for work, was the perfect pawn. Nina's plan succeeded. Andrew found a new target, and Nina finally escaped her nightmare. For Andrew, a broken plate wasn't just a dish, but an ancestral legacy. He demanded Millie pay for her negligence with 21 deep cuts on her body. Millie realized then that the man she killed in college was just like Andrew, rich and beloved, but a monster inside. She had killed him to save a girl who later betrayed her during the testimony. Society and even her parents believed the wealthy man over the poor scholarship student, turning her brilliant future into ashes. Due to a weak prosecutor and the influence of powerful people, she served 10 years in prison. However, those walls couldn't extinguish her fire to punish predators. She could spot them instantly. Nina had intentionally brought Millie into the house, knowing a woman who had previously ended a monster would know how to defend herself. Locked in the attic, Millie realized the price of freedom. She carved 21 deep cuts into her own stomach, bleeding but filled with hatred. When the door opened the next morning, Andrew stood over her, dictating rules, believing he had tamed her. But at the first opportunity, Millie's suppressed rage erupted. She attacked Andrew, snatched his phone, and locked him in that room. As Andrew screamed, Millie drank water and ate breakfast calmly. She saw a message on his phone. Nina's divorce papers were ready. Before leaving, Nina felt immense guilt for Millie. Meanwhile, Millie approached the locked door with a sharp proposal. To strip away the charm he used to trap girls, Millie demanded one of Andrew's front teeth for his freedom. Desperate, Andrew complied, yet Millie still didn't open the door. That night, Nina sneaked back to rescue Millie, but accidentally freed Andrew instead. Furious, Andrew attacked Nina and then turned on Millie, but Millie fought back fiercely, wounding him before escaping into the shadows. Andrew couldn't find her and tried to manipulate Nina again with apologies and promises. Suddenly, Millie emerged from the darkness and pushed Andrew down the stairs with all her might. The fall killed him instantly. To make it look like an accident, Nina cleverly smashed a light bulb near his body. The police concluded he fell while changing it. Andrew's mother refused to pursue the case, knowing her son's true nature. Nina inherited the fortune, and Millie moved on to her next mission.